Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are back. My name is Kevin Parrington Turner, aka the Brown Bostonian, aka Sir South, and I hope y'all are doing well. Excuse my voice, a little fragile, a little crackling. I was sick 2 days ago, had some bad chicken, and then I was throwing up, vomiting everywhere for the night. But so now my vocal cords are strained. So excuse me, but I still was able to cover the NBA draft for work. APP.com held at Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, right across the bridge from me. And I got a chance to go and look at the Celtics pick, Chris Sinak. So I was watching the entire night. I was covering it. Check it out, the APP.com. You can see the article of me evaluating, giving analysis on every single pick of the first night of the NBA draft. The second night is the second day of the draft. Second round is tonight, 8 p.m., airing on ESPN. However, we're only really here for the Celtics. I'm gonna give them a little bit of my thoughts on the rest of the picks, but overall, I think this was a really strong draft class. AJ DeBonsa from Brockton, shout out to him. I mean, Brockton ain't that far from Boston, although it's not Boston because he made it clear, like, yo, I'm from Brockton. Do not say Boston. I'm from Brockton. So, a lot of respect to that young man. He deserves it. Happy for him. Darren Peterson went second. We're gonna talk about all that, but for right now, the Boston Celtics picked Chris Sinak Jr. Now, they had the 27th pick. I would have personally liked Terrace Reed from UConn or Zuby Ejiofor from St. John's. Zuby was supposed to go in the second round. He was in mock drafts to go in the second round, early in the second round. So, that could fluctuate anytime. He ended up going before the Celtics got their pick. And also, Terrace Reed ended up going ahead of him, too. Going into the draft, a lot of mock drafts had Jaden Quintons going to the Celtics from Kentucky. I'm glad he didn't because he has some knee injuries that he was just battling for like the past 2 years that stopped him from playing a full season. Man hasn't played a full season. So, with all that happening, with Terrence Reed from UConn, who went to Michigan too before he transferred to UConn and went to the national championship game. So he's a winner. And then Zuby from St. John's, Rick Pitino, he can hit some threes. He's gone. And even Jane Quentin's gone. Even Michigan. Michigan has some centers, national championship guys that end up going a little earlier in the draft. So what did that leave? That left for Chris Sinak from Houston, a 6'11" guy, 240 pounds. He can knock down a shot or two from deep, which the Celtics need. And going into this draft, that's what they need. They need a big that can have some interior presence that can protect the rim. It can also knock down shots. We know how Joe Mazzulla likes his team to play. They like to shoot a lot of threes, sometimes too much. That's a fact. We're not gonna sugarcoat anything. Joe Mazzulla likes his team to shoot a lot of threes. So therefore, with no more Kristaps Porzingis from that championship team, we need a big guy that can protect the rim and also can shoot threes. Because we just saw in this past season against the Sixers, once Joel Embiid came back, we won the first game, but then we just ended up losing so many games because who can guard Joel Embiid? And then even if we got past Joel Embiid, who's guarding Cat? Nobody. So we need a big. And what I learned from this is a big takeaway from the draft. The Celtics aren't going to look for it in this draft. Chris Sinak is not. He's not going to play a huge role. I'd be very surprised if he does. I wouldn't be surprised if he, is in and out of the lineup, gets called up a couple of times from the G League, plays a couple of games. Now, if the Celtics are in dire need, for sure, he can make an impact, especially towards the end of the season. He gets his feet under him, gets used to the NBA. We're going to see how the summer league games go. Maybe he'll surprise me, but from what I see during the season, he doesn't seem like a guy that's like so immediate impact, like, oh my goodness, we really got to steal. I think it was a solid pick. Celtics had a hole they need filled, and it's like, hey, let's try it with this guy. I'm sure they looked for somebody else, like the guys I mentioned, like a Zuby or a Terrace Reed or some Michigan bigs, because Michigan had a lot of good bigs that ended up winning national championships, so they're worth looking after. But they got picked up early. There was a lot of good bigs towards the end, in the end of this first round. So I like Sinak, but he's not the answer, which means this offseason, the Celtics are going to look for some trades. And now with the Jalen Brown trade, not getting able to get Giannis for Jalen Brown, a lot that changes a lot of things because that lets us know that who knows what Jalen Brown is thinking, who knows what's going on. Now we saw the live stream. We said you turned me into a monster. I don't really know how to interpret that. A lot of people interpret that into he's going to use that as fuel on the court. Mm, love Jalen Brown. He's a little sensitive dude, man. Not a little, but he's a sensitive guy in some aspects. So does that mean he's using fuel as a fuel on the court, or he's just kind of using it as I'm gonna dive deeper into the stream and I'm gonna dive deeper into my my work uh as an anthropologist, working with trying to, communities, neighborhoods, and what he's done for Boston has been great. I see him in the hood or at the Boys and Girls Club every summer at the hood tournaments. So I don't know what that necessarily means when he says he's going to turn into a monster. I hope it means fuel on the court and being a Celtic, because I saw Brad Stevens say we're going to celebrate him, whether it's 10 years from now or if he leaves earlier than that. But either way, he won us a championship. Now, forget all that. I just wanted a tangent with Jalen Brown not being traded and Giannis going to the Heat instead of the Celtics, we need a big still. Now, what big can we get off the market right now? That's tough. That's tough because right now it's a guard. It's a guard league. And we already got a Jason Tatum. We already got a Jalen Brown. We already got a Derek White. We already got a Payne Pritchard coming off the bench. If we can get another guard, cool, I guess. But we really need a big and a big that can shoot. I know everyone wants a big that can shoot, but we really need a big that can shoot. We can protect the rim. We do that, it really doesn't matter who else we got because we got two stars if Jalen Brown stays. And we got Derek White, a borderline all star. We got Payne Pritchard, the 6 man year, the candidate again next year. Um, but overall, for the first night of the draft, I think the Celtics did the best they could with the pick they had. They had the 27th pick. They didn't have 15th. There was no point of trading up. Like, why would they? There was nobody. There was no big on the roster that could change everything for the Celtics and make it. These guys are rookies. Now, this is a strong draft class, by the way. I will say that, but not the strong draft class comes from there's so many guards and wings. We don't need more guards. We don't need more wings. The first 10 picks was pretty much guards and wings and freshmen. So these young guys that are going to need some development. The Celtics need to win now. Those first 10 picks are teams that are looking for the future. The Wizards are not winning. Jazz are not winning, and they got Ace Bailey already, so it's gonna take some years. I don't know, whatever. Grizzlies, I don't know what's going on with John Morant. Bulls, Clippers, maybe, but they have their own issues. Nets, Kings, Hawks. See, those teams in the first 10 picks, they got a lot of good guards and they got a lot of good wings they drafted last night. Celtics don't need that. We need to win right now. We are competing with the Knicks now, who have a lot of good guards. But the Celtics guards can compete with them. Celtics wings can compete with them. It is the big that we are struggling with. Who's gonna guard Cat? Can't nobody guard Cat. Can't nobody guard Joel Embiid. But nonetheless, first night draft night. I like it from the C's. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Second night is tonight, 8 o'clock. Boston has the 40th pick, uh, midway through the second round. So we'll see what happens. Literally the 10th pick in the second round. Um, Hopefully they can pick another big if they think they can. I don't want to see them pick a guard. If they can pick another shooter, even though we have a Sam Hauser. So we really just need to see a big and see what they can do uh during the summer in the summer ball league. So I like what I saw. Hopefully Jalen Brown stays and hopefully we can get it together. Uh, and that's what it is, man. Jalen Brown. I hope he stays with the Boston Celtics. Excuse me for my voice again. My voice sounds crazy. I'm aware of that. Um, but yeah, here you go. Uh, Christian Knack, he did really well. He led Houston in rebounds last year as a freshman with 7.9, six double doubles on the season. So he's no star, but I like him. He's a guy who can get some rebounds. Hopefully, some long rebounds for the Celtics after some 3-point shots. But we'll see what happens. My name is Kevin Parrington Turner. I'll be covering the Celtics. I'll be covering the Patriots. Covering Boston sports in general, some boxing, some battle rap, but mostly sports, showing you the life of a sports reporter. And it's gonna be a fun journey. I'm gonna be more on it. I'm gonna be more consistent. And also follow me for the APP. I just covered the NBA Finals, and also just covered the NBA Draft last night. So cover me, watch me on the APP, watch me here on YouTube, go to my TikTok. Some things you might see on TikTok that you might not see on YouTube, and vice versa. Follow the Substack as well. That's why I give you my own personal stories of each week or each day that I'm going out and covering something, and I'm giving you the behind the scenes look and what it's like as a reporter. Um, but yeah, it's gonna be a fun journey. We're only halfway through 2026, and a lot more dope stuff to come. I promise you that. Until next time, we'll see what the Celtics do on day two. I appreciate y'all. My name is Kevin Parrington Turner. Enjoy the rest of y'all Wednesday. Good night. Good day.